Hello, this is Jensen Vars here. I'm gonna be playing my Legacy Life Among the Ruins game. Taking my time with it in the end. No need to rush and make it a short adventure. Been trying different things. My biggest goal being sticking more to the role-playing and the in-game language, let's say. Staying in-game more and talking less meta whenever possible. And with that said, I'm gonna proceed and start just with the next session. Gonna review this game, figure out where we were. 1 second, however, I don't see the chat. Be nice. If I could. Here is the chat. Alright, I will welcome everybody down there on the audience, and if you watch this game a bit later, or pieces of it, because I understand it's quite long and not the most exciting thing ever to watch somebody else play. I'm gonna make some role-playing session here in Legacy Life Among the Ruins if my internet connection doesn't give up. Looks like I might be lagging a little bit, but otherwise should be fine. I'm gonna give a few minutes for it to stabilize. And definitely looking forward to have a better internet connection if I want to play any live streams in the future. It should be a must, let's say. Alright, so what do we have here? I'm gonna stick this chat so I can read you guys. Whoever joins, feel free to hop in and out as you prefer. And looking forward to see what this game is gonna be about. How do I make this? Yeah, here you are. Okay, so let's take a look at the game together. I'm gonna start by reviewing the plot unfolding machine plot nodes. That's where I can do a small recap of the game, but we've got a very interesting setup here. For starters and story-wise, what we have is Hardy, and she's the protagonist of the current character I'm playing in Legacy Life Among the Ruins. She belongs to this fungal fellowship, as well called or known as the cultivators. They are the ones who are providing food in this world that is running out of sunlight. Surprisingly, we live in almost an eternal darkness. And these guys over here found a way to produce food that doesn't require sun. And those are these mushrooms, grove plantations that they figured to develop across the region. And this satisfies 3 out of the 4 families actively involved in this world. The other family is called Marisol clan, or they are a nomadic family of scavengers and traders, and they roam around this region crossing their path and marking the way, exploring the little that can be explored, because in full darkness there's only so much that we can see. And the third important faction is the Watchfire Legion. These are the most advanced civilization-wise. They have multiple outposts, a very important settlement outpost here on the north, covered in these mountains, highly protected by their headquarters that covers this area, as long as other important outposts such as the oil refinery and other outposts. One of them very important is the medicine outpost, or the source of many of their health caring supplies comes from here, and currently going through some problems because they said they lost communication, but they have other dire problems to deal with. One of them is a mushroom grove that seemed to be triggering a plague. Lots of sick people ate from this source of food is affected, and they say there's even some psychotic rage that is triggered by this madness that this plague is causing, on top of the other symptoms like fever and pale skin, puking, and other ugly symptoms. So our character, our protagonist, Hardy, the scavenger, I have her character sheet somewhere around here. Oh, that's a lot of white. She's an agent of the Fungal Fellowship, and her main goal or main mission is to figure out what is causing this plague and sickness, because they are the responsibles to fix this mess. And currently tensions between the factions is not great. Diplomacy relations are not going well because there are certain accusations, they caused the plague, it's their food, and so on and so forth. And the Marisol clan is traveling also. I'm gonna advance them one step closer to the headquarters to settle a trade and offer supplies and support. But in the meantime, the Legion, the Watchfire Legion, is in dire need of help. And in the background we have like these wraiths, these rumors of ghost-like creatures that is roaming around, and everybody is a bit scared. On the south we have these mutants. We don't know much about them yet. We might introduce them a bit later, but they seem to be taking care of another kind of danger down on the south. In the last session we have Hardy arriving to the plague area. She got in touch with some scouts from the Watchfire Legion and some patrol guards, and essentially they told her that they are dealing with a more serious problem other than the plague itself, which is a leak in their water resources. So the situation is way worse than we had expected. So Hardy followed, to offer help and actually start improving the relations. She offers her help to figure out what's going on with the water pipes. And as they arrived, it's actually in this area, there's a big mine that they need to explore near the mountains, where the leak of water has been detected by the Watchfire Legion. And they are preparing an expedition, but they don't have the manpower to both protect the headquarter area, protect the people that's already having a hard time from the plague, as well as taking care of whatever is going on with the outpost. So it's a good time to give them a hand and support them in these times. Hey Dennis, so nice to see you there. It's kind of amazing how much smaller the map feels when you add a handful sites and path. I know, right? I mean, we are playing around this area around here, but we also at the same time we have plenty going on. But yes, we make small steps. We moved around this area so far. We don't know much about the rest of the world. It's largely unexplored. But yes, we can focus on where we are playing and see how much that is to handle. So with that said, let's begin the next session. Hardy, along her partners, Carl and Brandt, they are here. They're gonna give a hand and figure out what's going on with this water leak. They are in a meeting with the sergeant, if I remember correctly, his name, Sergeant On Yu from the Watchfire Legion, and that's where we start. So they were investigating a dead body from the plague. Carl wanted to explore it, and that's where we are. So I'm gonna advance the plot over there. I think I already moved this, and I'm gonna roll a modified proposal to see what we figure out, or what do we have in this scene where Carl will be investigating the body. Number 8. Bring someone unhelpful. So Carl is gonna investigate the body. Sergeant On Yu gave only 5 minutes. Hardy's gonna buy time and try to be nice to him. Sergeant On Yu, it's we appreciate the time and the support that you're giving for our caravan to stay in this encampment with you. I'm gonna make sure that we are contributing to your cause and improve the situation. We're gonna figure out together what's with this water pipe, and we can for sure figure out something. Let's see his attitude. In general, some attitude. Engage you and trigger attraction, flirting and charming. Okay, he's quite not the great. He's a bit of a disgusting guy, this sergeant, I guess. It's like he's gonna go and... Yeah, well, if we get more company like you, times wouldn't be that bad. And she's gonna play along. Sure. It's always... Excuse us for a moment, we're gonna investigate a little bit. What do you know about the plague so far? Well, what everybody knows. It starts with some pale yellowish skin, then people start getting pickles and things on their faces. Next, they start raising some fever, at least that's what they say, yes, they tell us, and after the fever comes the worst part. They start seeing things, ghosts and shadows. That's where most of the rumors from this night crawlers that everybody say, I don't believe that crap if you ask me. It's all nonsense. Ghosts. As if we didn't have enough problems already with the horseman raiders and all that crap that's going on with the darkness around us. I see. And then you said that people get psychotic rage, and I even heard that some of them are sacrificed. Indeed. For the security of us all, we try to protect them from ourselves, but they become unpredictable. They start things, and they start attacking each other. We lost more people from violent psychotic rages than the plague itself. The plague itself is mostly sick people, but when they get to the rage psychotic part, we can no longer control them. Even jailers are starting to have troubles with them. You get the drill. So, that said, I'm super glad to see you here and looking forward to what you mushroom people discover. Mushroom people? You can call us just by our names, says Brandt. Anyways, so let's see what Carl investigates. I'm gonna roll for Carl. He's the doctor, the medic, and the biologist. He's rolled a 7+1. He's got on lore. That's an 8. So thinks he will discover something at a certain cost. Let me think what this can be about. Maybe one of the troubles. or an active lead. Let's roll an active lead at random and see in which direction do we learn something. 7. That is hellish worms and the sickness itself. Okay, makes sense. In one of the previous sessions we encountered some underground worms that have a poisonous effect, and they even have impacted, even Brandt is actually sick because of those worms. Hardy, I think you won't like what I'm learning around here. What have you got? Brandt, show me your hand. And Brandt shows his left robotic metallic arm. No, you idiot. The other one. The one where you have skin. Ha ha. Funny. So funny. He shows his hand. This is not good, he says. What? Either the worms are the cause, or a potential they have at least a potential connection to the plague itself, or the worms are themselves infected and now they carry that sickness. Look at Brandt's skin color. Don't tell me it's yellowish. Is it yellowish? 6. Oh, I need the other page. 6. Subjective. It depends on the skill. Okay, it depends on the skill. I'm gonna take the weak yes, because he already passed the skill, so the weak yes is the answer I'm gonna pick. It's yellowish. I'm afraid so. Cut that crap. I'm not gonna go crazy like the others. And the sergeant steps back a few steps, prepares his gun. Hold on, nobody's shooting anyone, Sergeant. Worst case scenario, we're gonna leave, alright? We went through really hard times. Mushroom people, don't force our hands. I suggest you lock down this person right now before it's too late. Too late for what? For the psychotic rage. It's got a gun, metallic arm. It's the perfect description to be a serial killer based on what we have seen so far. I suggest we should go. We should investigate the leak, the water leak, and get Brandt away with us. I'm not going mad, you hear me? Perfectly fine, my brain is working just fine. I think it might be a good idea if you hand over your gun, Brandt. No way! My gun? Yes, your gun. And if you have anything to disable from your metallic arm, that's also dangerous. If this plague is true and acts as fast as everybody say, you might lose your head soon enough. Come on, don't be so grim with me. I'm gonna be fine, I'm strong. We've been eating like our own food. I know, we have that advantage. But you have been poisoned. Hell with that poison, I won't die, and I won't go mad. Just give us your weapon. Fine. So, Brandt being sick is not a good sign. We should figure out a quick way to delay this poison. Carl, give us something. I have the recipe of the tea, the one we learned from this woman in the library. That's all I have. Do you think it will help? Let's see. Does he think it will help? That's a number 2. Interaction? No, but it's strange. Honestly, no, I don't think it will help. This tea won't delay it much, but at the same time, I admit the tea has some good effects in preventing those allergic reactions that we saw earlier in the library. That sounds good enough. Anything else you can come up with? Let me take a look at Carl's. We've got this character this medic character somewhere here. He is part of the Fungal Fellowship. We've got some characters back here. Here, notable people. He represents trying to treat the new plague currently exhibiting its first symptoms. Yes, that doesn't give me much. Thank you very much, Powered by the Apocalypse games, for not giving anything useful. Let me take a look at the moves from the family. Green fingers, medical and culinary use of any plant or animal you encounter. Okay, with that we can work out something. I have heard there is a plant. It's part of a... Let's describe it. I need some adjective, please. Lively, busy, crowded, latent. Okay, another adjective. Plan to cure or delay the plague by car. Latent and incredibly or brilliant, flashy. Okay, that gives me good enough material to work from here. So Carl, the medic, is gonna say, there is a plant that grows nearby in the foot of the mountains. If we look for it, maybe I can prepare some antidote, something natural. If we combine it with some rotten mushroom, one that's infected with the plague, and for sure make sure that we don't ingest it ourselves, I think I could manage to handle some counter-reactive antidote for Brandt and try to delay his development of this sickness he's got. Again, I'm not sick. Come on, Brandt, this is serious. Alright, but at the same time we have to deal with the water leak. Do you think we can find some of that plant on that direction? Let's see, can we? That's a number 1. Answer is no, definitely not. I'm afraid not. If we get inside the cave to fix the water leak, we won't find this mushroom I'm talking about. This plant grows on the outside. We need to get into some forest outside and then figure things out. Alright, we have no choice. So first we work on this antidote and then we go investigate the water leak. Sergeant, is that fine for you? We need an opinion. Sergeant's opinion from Scene Unfolding Machine. He provides with something that can be of help. All right. He says, listen, what's that plant name? We've got some herbalists with us. They might give you a hand locating it faster. It's called... Oh, what is it called? Mythic name generator. Come to our aid. Brac-Hol. Okay, so it's a Brac-Hol. Plant for antidote. I like that. It's called a Brac-Hol. Some derivation and mutation from the old broccoli plant. Sure thing. Hey, Laura, somebody bring Laura to me, calls the sergeant, and a young lady comes running. Yes, sir. Have you heard of a plant called Brac-Hol? The lads over here need it direly. I guess so. Let's leave that to randomness to see what does she answer. 2. No, but it's strange. That's not really helpful. She will say, Brac-Hol, yes, I know which one is that, but since the plate's not growing anymore, and the few samples we had, they're drying out. That's perfect. Could you lead us to the last place where they grow? Maybe we are lucky enough to find at least a small sample of it that's enough for the tea I want to prepare. Have you ever tried any formulas with it to treat anyone from the plague? Anything you have learned so far? I had out a hypothesis where this plant could come to react the antidote, the effects of the plague as an antidote. What does she say? 3. No, it's dangerous. No. I mean, we thought about it, but using infected mushrooms is not something we wanted to play with, and our elders will never authorize tests for it. Well, thankfully, your elders are not mine, so I intend to test it. Fine. So can you point us to where we can find this antidote? Yeah, sure. Let me roll some dice around here. See where it falls. Okay, here. So it falls somewhere around this place. I'm gonna generate a quick image for post-apocalyptic forest near the mountains. Oh, I love that. So I'm gonna call this source of Brac-Hol plants or seeds. All right. This should be night. 1 second. I need to generate another picture. Okay, this is much better. Hey, welcome. There's one viewer over there. Glad that you joined. Among Ruins, a very interesting campaign. It's hard to play, many families, many factions involved, and a lot to me to figure out, because Powered Up by the Apocalypse isn't the most concrete system out there that gives you a lot of concrete, but still it's being a lot of fun. It's kind of a grim post-apocalyptic future, and I hope my internet is not failing again. But we'll resume the next scene in just a moment. And I'm gonna update this location over here, this image. And let's proceed. So, Then we should get moving. Thank you for pointing us to the forest. You said it's a forest, right? How can we find it? The young lady knows. Our herbalist team has been marking the path. Just follow the light blue neon paths. These neon lights are gonna mark your road. Follow it until you cross the first hill, and then you're gonna see the following light blue neon lights to your right, tied from a rock. Stick very near to them. We have seen some dangers around it. What kind of dangers? Let's see what kind of dangers. Story troubles. 6 stands for claws in the darkness. I'm a bit embarrassed to say, but we heard some whispering. And the sergeant will interfere and say, "Come on, not again with that, Laura. Cut out with the crap. You're a scientist, for God's sake. How can you believe in that?" It's what we heard. We all heard it, Sergeant. Somebody speaking, yet coming from no concrete direction. We had to interrupt our studies. Come back. Whatever. Alright, thank you for your warning. So, Brandt, are you sure you're feeling alright? I am feeling alright, but not without my weapon. We can't take any risks. We need to trust you, alright? If you feel any fever, any... Yes, of course I'm going to tell you, and I don't intend to go on a psychotic rage and kill everybody. It's not my style. What do you think, Hardy? If we go with Brandt but he's no guns, anything that happened to us, he's a dead man. I can't defend myself. I got a metallic arm, remember? He's 6 and... fine. But take care of yourself, okay? Be careful. If you feel anything, hear anything, even the remote whispering you hear in your head, you tell us right away, alright? Now take this tea. I prepared it for you. It should delay this effects and it might make you feel a bit sleepy. I hate drinking that thing, but if it's for the best, let's do it for the best. And the sergeant is gonna say, alright, my men are going to be ready if you come back. We need to protect the area. We wish you the best. Thank you, Sergeant. We will be on our way. Okay, so the characters are gonna proceed into this hex tile. For the next scene, they're gonna follow the path as marked and suggested by Laura, the herbalist. And in this forest, we're gonna be paying attention, illuminating with our neon light and our own oil-fueled torches to find a specific mushroom seed that should help delay the effects of the poison that Brandt has. I don't know what to expect really over there, so I'm gonna roll the next scene prompt, a random prompt for this, as the characters go into this area, following the path. Let's roll. Roll a 4 and a 3. 4 and a 3. 4 stands for put the characters in a certain situation. And number 3 for situation is being followed or observed. That's not great, but it is what it is. The characters will follow and arrive to the forest area. I'm gonna need some adjectives for this. This is the tile of the Brac-Hol seed. Brac-Hol seeds forest. Depending, thirsty, lacking, and sandstorm, desert, mud, rocks. Alright, following the path, this leads us to an area where the trees are quite dried up. There's definitely lack of water, if there was ever any water at all. Maybe back in the day of the rains, this was a more humid area, but certainly we only see the remnants of it. There are construction sites of an old world long forgotten, some abandoned machinery and equipment for woodworkers, huge machines and pillars, robotic arms that are now fallen to rust and fully obsolete. And suddenly, there's going to be some sounds. I want to know who's gonna listen to it. I'm gonna roll a d6. 1, 2 is Hardy. 3, 4 is Brandt. Brandt. That's not great. Just the sick guy is gonna feel something. And as the characters approach the area where potentially there can be some Brac-Hol plants, even if rotten, as per Laura's indication, Brandt is gonna say, "Guys, have you heard that?" I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna take it at a disadvantage. If anyone else, definitely not. Everybody stops. What did you hear? What's going on, Brandt? What did he hear? I need some adjective. Inaccessible, impenetrable. I'm pretty sure this is not my mind going off. I need you to believe me. I feel just fine. I just heard some voice. Did it come from any direction? Did it? True. No, but it's strange. No, it didn't come from any direction in particular. It feels very strange, as if coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. That's even very abstract, even for you, Brandt. Could you recognize what it said? Yes. It said we should not move on. We should not proceed. We should stop and turn back. That's not good. At this point, with this tension over here, I'm gonna call a reaction from the story. Let me get something here from the actual adventure we're playing. I'm gonna make a reveal of the Claws of Darkness. A cry goes up. A corpse has been found in the hearth of a settlement. 3 impossibly narrow rents split their flesh, far sharper cuts than any human weapon could make. A wraith is hunting in the shadow. Suddenly, everybody hears a scream from what it seems to be a man's voice going through pain. Hardy and Carl, they prepare their guns. Carl is gonna pay attention specifically to Brandt to make sure he's doing fine, while Hart is gonna carefully follow this screaming. They get into the forest, leave the rocks with the neon light markers behind, knowing that it might be dangerous to leave the path, yet they need to see what is going on. Eventually, they will see What was it exactly? A corpse in the heart of a settlement, 3 impossibly narrow rents. What are rents? My English is limited here. Rents, what is that? 3 impossibly narrow rents split their flesh. Okay, I see what it is. There's a dead man over there. Let's see. What's the outer impression this person gives? 15. Tattoos and what? Losing internet connection.